300 of the little darlings. Well, I guess we can have a bake sale and send those to San Francisco. What do you think? Absolutely. Well, that's part and parcel of my campaign. I've got T-shirts, little social media campaign that says Mexican Wolf Wars, no amnesty, send them south. Real simple. Yeah. I don't know that they can. I believe there's a bunch of Biden and Obama leftovers. Was one of the things that Mr. Musk did was froze under Doge a lot of the money for the MGW program. I don't know how many heads rolled over there at Fish and Wildlife Service, quite a few of them. I asked Jim DeVos point blank, what is the future of the MGW program in Arizona? What does that mean? And he says, well, we really don't know. That's a standard answer. And he said, well, we do have money for 18 to 24 months. After that, what are we going to do? How are we going to manage the woods? And he did not like my answer. So. That's just crazy.
That's $140,000 more just this year that they're out. And Darcy Ely, they told me in 2004 they lost 140 calves.
Wow,
and
man.
They lost over 1,000
It's $250,000.
1,000 head in the history of the program, and they've received just $5,000 in compensation.
Well, that's the problem with the whole damn program. It's not being managed correctly, and we have state officials in Arizona that are not, as far as I'm concerned, they're asleep at the wheel. We've got cattle being depredated, elk, deer, calves, fawns being devastated. Nobody, there's really no dialogue. Well, we don't have the authority. It's not our call. Belongs to Fish and Wildlife. I'm calling BS on the whole thing. So, hopefully between Tom and you and me and what we're doing, we can get some traction. I don't have a lot of faith in Congress, especially on the GOP side. They seem to be asleep at the wheel, not only on the wolf issue, but Antifa and internal domestic terrorism and blah, 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 blah. I don't want to get going down that road. They'll be here for, 3 weeks. There's just too much of a divide in this country. There's too much chaos and a lack of control. And I think they're all fighting for control. The best thing that I can see is finish taking the operational funds away from Fish and Wildlife, can that whole department, gather up the wolves, send them to Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I think they belong in Mexico. That's where they're identified. But if people can't support that, I found that people on the left and some people on the right don't want to change the program. But
Well, then they should be
Everyone can
deported.
get behind. What everyone can get behind is compensation. I think when you say actually the rancher isn't getting enough money to cover his costs of these wolves, and he deserves to be reimbursed fairly, he or she.
Well, what happened
That's
to,
something that-
what happened to Christian Cinema's bill to, enhance payments? That, like Gosar's bill, is hit a stone wall.
Well, so that bill was signed under the One Big Beautiful bill. There's parts of it were in One Big Beautiful bill, and so they increased the compensation payments from 75% to 100%, which is a no-brainer. You know, you should be paid 100% the value of the animal.
Well, the question is, Ben, when does that kick in?
So it should be right now, but I think the paperwork is still pending on that.
You got a little government.
Yeah, but you know, it also compensates for the unborn calf.
Good.
If the wolf kill a cow and she's pregnant, then you get a little bit more reimbursement for that. You know, it also pays it pays the rancher just a little bit more because the current, it's more current, I guess I want to say, is so the in the past the amount of payment was dependent on years past prices, but now it's on real time prices, on current prices.
Yeah.
So that's also another.
Ben, one other question is Ginger experienced any more terrorism on our water facilities, tanks, pipes, troughs, by apparently the wolf larvas creating domestic terrorism on federal waters?
Oh yeah, it's just terrible up there. From what I've heard, they took sawzalls to the troughs. They had a tank that they drilled holes in. They spray painted a sign that said, "My heroes have always killed cowboys."
Right.
I think it's,
We need to have a chat with that person. Can you give me an address?
they think that they have them on game cam up there.
Oh, they do.
So, yeah, so we'll see what law enforcement finds. But
Well, you know, that's another thing. Law enforcement's asleep at the wheel as well, as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, I'm gonna get in a lot of hot water over this whole issue. I'm just started keeping my mouth shut. If they've got a game camera, there's a thing in the world right now. It's called facial recognition on AI. Come on.
yeah, you know, it should be fairly easy to find this person if they have a picture.
Okay, does Ginger have that?
I think it's law enforcement that has it, but Ginger they might have an idea.
Okay. All right, Ben, I appreciate you joining us today. I'll be in touch with you next week. I don't really feel obligated to let this particular photograph sit. We need to identify this person and move forward. So we'll be talking to you next week. Good job, man. I appreciate you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Don.
Yeah, you betcha. Anytime, Ben. Ben Mingus, doing a great job for the Arizona County Rifle Association and on the WARF program. So there you have it. We'll do some follow-up with Congressman Gosar on his bill and perhaps with spokesman from DOI. I'm Don McDowell, Fox Sports 910. More with David Lamford and Tyson Store when we come back. You got it, folks.
Did I hear him right? There was 140 calves and 70 calves?
Yeah.
So 210 calves so far this year killed by those Mexican wolves?
Uh-huh.
That's... How do you survive those kind of losses?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a lot of money, and it costs a lot to
Even
run.
even
these
at
races.
last year's prices,
Yeah.
you can't. That's not sustainable for.
No.
long term. They don't want us here. They don't want the sportsmen here. It's a double whammy for the environmentalists.
Okay.
What I don't understand is, with all this stuff being torn up, where is the Sierra Club? Where is, Friends of Wildlife or whatever they?
Well, you don't want to say it, I will.
Yeah.
Where's Game and Fish?
Yeah, yeah,
What are they doing?
yeah.
They got people sitting in their office looking at Google Maps going, well, I don't think there's any wildlife out there.
Right.
Yeah, so, we've already called bullshit on a whole bunch of that.
David,
Mhm.
back to all those clubs you're talking about, the Sierra clubs
Yeah.
and the Duck clubs and the Limited and all those. All they are Jesse Jackson in a different
Yeah.
outfit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come sue you, put me on your board of directors,
Yeah.
pay my attorneys, and I'm gonna find enough litigation
Mhm.
to where we keep making money for the next 20 years until we come up with the next thing.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a money grab, and by attorneys to set policy. But I'm sitting here thinking 210 animals, right?
yeah,
That's crazy.
At 1.57 million calories per cow,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's 315 million calories. That's 140,000 meals.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about having hunger problems in the United States.
Well, when we come back, why don't you take that down the road?
I mean, that's just what I
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
I just did some rough
exactly.
math.
Something that, but we got a second?
Yeah,
Something that I found interesting, a guy from Redacted came out and interviewed me a long time ago, and he went and interviewed the gal at Sierra Club. And he said,
Sandy Bar.
yes, you know what's happening to the ranchers and the sportsmen. It's gonna devastate them.
She
She
doesn't
said,
care.
it's about time.
She doesn't care.
So, that's why they're staying out of it. That's why they're staying out of it.
Yeah. Game and Fish you're talking about?
No, Sierra Club.
Yeah. But the other thing is, you take that left pressure
Mm-hmm.
on Game and Fish,
Yeah,
they put their hands in their pocket.
yep. They crumple.
Yeah, we have guys like Kurt Davis. That's why we have the goofed up mountain lion season that we have.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kurt Davis. That's why we don't have the big game commissioner tags in the auction anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of things, a lot of things wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And always on our free iHeartRadio app. Here's the Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro.
All righty, we're back. Tyson, during the break, you had a cognition on 140 calves missing.
Well, I just doing some rough math here, and you gotta remember, it freaks me out a little bit. 140 head plus 70 head, that's 210. You have 1.7 million calories per cow once they're harvested.
And that's what the 140 calves
Yeah, and so
represent.
that's 315 million calories. And at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about calories, we're talking about megawatts, because solar all goes back to the basic things that we need. But the original solar plant is a cow.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing we have out here in the state is the original solar plant, which is a cow that can go out and graze anything that we can't eat, but they can turn into protein.
Of course.
That turns into calories. That was 140,000 meals that was just taken away by the Mexican gray wolf here in Arizona.
Boom.
140,000 meals. No, days. Days, because that's, if you take the 315 million divided by 2,250 calories, it's 140,000 days per person that they could have lived on.
That's crazy.
That was just gone. Evaporated.
What's the economic value at current market prices for those cows that have been depredated?
$250,000, $300,000 easy at today's prices.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, a ranch can't sustain that.
No.
I mean, you lose 2 or 3 head, that's a bad. I mean, you're going to lose 10%. That's acceptable. You know, something happens, they're born sick or whatever. But to lose, it's got to be over half of some of these operations. You can't do that
Yeah.
and stay in business.
David, let me ask you this. Are you losing cattle to lion depredation?
I have,
You have,
yeah.
yeah. And you're up to 5, 6?
We're up to 5 this year.
Yeah. And one missing?
We're up to 5 this year, so.
That's interesting that you put that into perspective on a caloric level. Something that I heard on it was a public lands committee meeting the other day, and one of the people that was on the Zoom meeting brought up the fact that these solar companies, and I don't want to get off the topic of the gray wolves, but
Well, solar wolves today.
So they claim we're only going to use 1,650 acre feet of water. Now convert that into gallons real quick. If you
It's 375,000 gallons per acre foot, something like that.
yeah, so that check my number here and make sure that I'm reading that right. Isn't that 537 million plus gallons?
Correct.
Yeah. That's what the conversion rate is.
Wow.
That's a lot of water, and it's in Arizona, and they wanna drill wells, you know, they're gonna drill a 24-inch case well and suck that water table down, where our wells on the ranches and stuff for the game waters
Yep.
are 150 feet deep, pumping 1.7 gallons a minute, and then they're gonna suck that water table down. And
Yep.
yeah,
Well, we've already got 5 or 6 wells that, we've got to
right.
drop the pump and stuff on. So, yeah, it's, it's a big deal.
Yep.
So, Arizona constituency's losing the fight, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And,
Okay,
and
so-
Don, I know beef is all-time record prices, and people are upset with the price of beef in the store. But if you convert it back to the price per gram, beef is still 50 cents on the dollar compared to Doritos or any kind of snack food.
Okay, start that over again.
No, seriously, if you go back by the per gram, a bag of Doritos, a bag of cookies, any kind of packaged food, you're gonna get 20, 24 ounces or whatever it is.
Okay, don't be picking on cookies now.
No, they're all delicious. But if you take beef, even at record prices, and everyone's upset about it, it's still a better deal, pound for pound, gram for gram, compared to anything else in the store.
Of course.
And it's better for you.
Yep.
Now, it's perishable. There's only a shelf life of a couple of weeks, but it's healthier for you. And that's when you're looking at it, is what's the best calorie intake for us?
What's the life expectancy of a tri-tip? That's 2.5 hours at 375 degrees.
Yeah, not very long once it's cooked in my house. It's not very long.
But Don, I did all those math just at ground beef calorie prices. I mean, other cuts have more calories and things. I just strictly use ground beef.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's frustrating.
Wow. All right, what's the next step for you? I mean, already, the last time you were here, we were fighting the Vulcan. Is that pretty much stalled at this point?
Vulcan's out. This is another company bought that.
Yep.
It's Next Era that bought that from them. So they're working on the project now, and it hasn't been steps. It's been stumbles. I don't know what the next stumble is for me.
Yes, but are they moving ahead under the freeze?
They're moving ahead with the geotech. They're out there coring,
Just
drilling.
geotech, okay.
Yeah, they're doing all that right now, which, again, it astounds me of how they can go get that done if they don't have the solar nailed down, and which leads me to believe that the state office has another plan other than what the field office has. You know what I mean? And they know that this solar is going to go through, and they're just going to step over. This is my fear. They're going to step over the field office. There wasn't even an EIS done on this. They just rubber stamped it.
Does this feel of some type of money grab by the officials?
That thought has crossed my mind. I mean, there's
Graft and corruption?
certain people pushing real hard for it, and it seems to be a trend that if somebody's filling your sack full of money, you'll say anything,
Yeah, pretty much.
so.
Where's Governor Hobbs and all of this debacle? Right in the middle of it?
Who knows? I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, you don't know. I can say it.
I know you can.
Yeah, the whole thing stinks. You know, you look at the Maricopa Board of Supervisors, going back to Hickman and the, oh God, I don't want to get started on dead chickens and burning untabulated votes, but I mean, we got a huge problem here.
Yeah.
Still, and
Mhm.
it continues.
Mhm. You know what's interesting is when all this started with the solar, it was back when Ducey was in there.
Another fine politician.
Yes. It was back then, and it's been going on a long time. I'm really getting tired of just getting tired.
Yeah,
It's not worth it.
It's the same fight, day after
Yeah.
day after day after week after month after year after politician after politician. You know, in where we'll sit right here, we try to do the right thing, we
Right.
try to follow the protocol, and we keep getting slapped down.
Yeah.
Where are the state representatives? Where are our congressional? Where's Paul Gosar in all this?
Yeah.
Come on, Paul.
Yeah.
Where's Andy Biggs? Andy Biggs wants to be this, that, the other thing. He wants to be a governor. BS. He hadn't done anything in his district.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You know what's interesting to me is the as farmers and ranchers, we have to work with the environment. We have to. We might have bugs that eat up our crops, or we might have no rain, which we've been having for the past several years. But we still have to work with the environment. These solar companies, they're not working with the environment.
They're destroying it.
They're destroying it and completely changing it.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating that we get beat up for a few cow tracks across, and I'm talking a few.
Bingo. Oh yeah.
And then they get free reign to do whatever they want to do, just with a stamp, you know.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a blessing.
They're out there with 4-wheel drive, 6-wheel drive vehicles, tearing down fences and
Yep.
making tracks all over the place.
Yep.
When we come back, I have some questions for Tyson and airdrops in North and Dendora Valley. I'm Don McDowell. We'll be right back here on Fox Sports 910. Was there ever any violations handed down to that C-130 in the Taiwanese that were dropping?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Chris is actively working diligently, and they've been cited, I believe, or about ready to be cited. I mean, they did. Chris has done a lot of hard work on
How long ago was that?
that. It'll be 2 years in March.
I call bullshit on that.
Okay.
I mean, the week it happened, he goes, "Excuse me, what's your name?" Here, go see the judge. 2 years?
It'll be 2 years in March.
What the hell's he been doing?
It's not him. It's the powers that be.
Mhm.
It's not our local people. And that's the last person I want to ever throw in a bus is Chris.
Exactly.
Well,
we finally actually have someone that's
he's
on
a
our
good
side.
dude.
I get it.
I mean, seriously.
Who was it, Leon?
It's got to be somebody above him, yeah, that's stopping it. But
Yeah, but you know, he's got the power.
okay, I'm going to divert from what you're saying there in the airdrop. You were talking about when you made the comment about farmers reach you the best you can with weather, bugs, and everything that's
Working
coming
with
up.
the environment.
But not one time has a solar company came to us and said, "Hey, this is what we need. We need power. The valley needs power." Given that,
Right.
and you have a prime
Then why are
location.
they sending it to California?
But no, that's a conversation. But why don't they come to Lisi and says, "Hey, this is what. Do you have any ideas?" Now, what I would think the
Are we
best
gonna
thing.
have to stay after class? Okay.
But seriously, we have the Don, follow me on this. We have the SRP canal, right?
Yeah.
It goes all the way
Yeah.
from Parker Dam, Lake Havasu, all the way to Tucson. Solar that son of a bitch.
Line it.
Yeah.
Cover it up, and that's out two things. It give power and evapotranspiration, and they already have easements and everything else. The second thing, these solar plants, these solar panels that they put up,
Yeah,
agrovoltaic, that's an actual thing.
yeah,
Let's make them 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
Make them
Raise
20
under-
foot tall.
Yeah.
And let me farm underneath them. Let me have some cattle shades.
Put them where the fences are. Put them where the fences are,
of course.
and then they maintain the fences.
Yeah, build fences in between.
Yeah, I mean,
It could be done together is what my point is.
yeah,
Yeah,
And then my other point is, why do we need them all the way out there? We already have transmission lines. Every one of these retention basins that has water for the first time in 5 years, let's solar that son of a gun. And guess what? Then the soccer fields are shaded.
yeah,
But I don't want to look at a solar panel. That's
Right.
what the government, that's what everyone's going to tell you. I don't want a solar
Right.
panel in my backyard. But the power lines are already here. The transmission lines are already here. Put the solar panels where the people are.
yeah.
That's my point.
yeah.
Covered parking everywhere.
What's that?
Covered parking everywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, for that matter, let's cover the I-10.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody, when we're at 10 miles an hour and the air conditioners don't work, we'd have shade at least.
That's the point. Did you get any water?
Zero.
I
Zero?
did
You did?
0.65. That's what I got, and I was out there when it hit. It was glorious. I almost got stuck getting out of there. I was so excited. I'll send you the video if you want. Yeah, it hailed on us. We just got done sorting a bunch of calves off and gathering some stuff, and it hit. Man, it hit big. So
Boom.
yeah, we'll get some feed out of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of good done, you know. I feel bad about the people that lost their lives over there in Globe.
Yeah.
But that place is it's like a big funnel.
Yes.
You know, they got that canal running down through town. It's like, whoa. It was full.
Yep.
And, Alrighty, we're back. A lot of good discussion during the break. We left it. There was an incident with a C-130, some Taiwanese folks dropping parachuted crates in North Dendora Valley without authorization, driving around making tracks and running over bushes and chasing chipmunks and all that. What's become of that?
The good news is they're not doing it anymore. That was stopped.
Okay.
It'll be 2 years in March when that happened. There's been no reclamation of any of the ground that they destroyed. Hopefully that'll come soon. That was what I was promised.
Really?
But it's amazing that here you are practicing airdrops out of a C-130, seeing how these parachutes can be navigated with your phone and help guide them to the right landing zone, but you were about 55 miles off from your landing zone where you were supposed to be.
Well, that's pretty close.
55 miles. You were on the wrong side of the freeway, and you were in the wrong location.
That could have landed on your house.
It was interesting. So, but again, we're out in the middle of nowhere. They don't. Can I go back to the solar panels and what's
Yeah.
you're fighting with? We had Don, we had water the first time in Phoenix and all summer long. And
Yeah.
as we were driving here, I saw water in these retention basins. Put panels there. You have all these retention basins, all these little park areas.
All over town.
Shade them up.
Everywhere.
They already have transmission lines, so you don't have to destroy them. Just put these solar panels up. I know that sounds crazy. Once you shade I-10, build that one big shade thing, make it like the L in Chicago. So you're driving, and you're in rush hour, you shade it, and you put solar panels on top of it.
You know
Why
how
do you have-
many
why do you have
people
to
would be
go out
under
in the
there?
Oh, yeah.
But why do you have to go out in the desert where there is no transmission lines, there is no road, there is no infrastructure, and you have to build it all the way out there?
That's
Put it
right.
here where there's already infrastructure.
That's right.
You have the CAP canal. that
I
goes
love
all
the canal idea.
You've already, right there, they put a few of them up right there on the Indian reservation.
Right,
There's a
right.
couple of them, everyone seems to drive by, they feel good about it. No, start in Parker and go all the way to Tucson.
Yep,
And then you can leave us alone for 20 years.
I like it. You ever think about running for Congress?
They wouldn't like me.
We would.
No, I definitely have thought about it. No, but we already have places we can put them. We don't have to go out in the desert.
The
And-
politicians don't have a thought process.
In the University of Arizona, has done a lot of work with this term called agrivoltaic.
Yep.
And they need to stress that a little bit more. And we need to stress a little more battery technologies where we start building more product.
How do we do that? We're dealing with a bunch of idiots in the state of Arizona government and in Congress and the Senate. We're still dealing with Obama leftovers, Biden leftovers, and I don't think there's enough being done aggressively enough with this new administration. You know, they hit the ground running and say, we did this. Okay. What's the next step?
It's all about the approach. If you just, all you receive is a letter, David, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with someone coming out? I mean, we're pretty resourceful in the ag industry. We come up with some pretty good ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't, but not one time has anybody sat down with us and said, hey, we need more megawatts, we need more generation. What do you think we could do to help? You have all this property, we're just gonna take it with solar panels. No, that's not the right idea. How about an open conversation with the actual tenant?
Right.
Hey, what would you do? Where would you put these things?
Yeah,
That's about
but that's the problematic side of that is, who are you gonna bribe? I'm just saying, somebody's got their hand out. I know it, you know it. I'm not speaking for you.
That's just how the world works, is the more neither. You know,
Yeah.
who's hands
We
on
need to start cutting off fingers.
The conversation should be opened up, instead of just, I'm gonna take this away, this is our need. What part of your lease doesn't produce anything? Or where should we put this? Where are the undesirable places to graze? Maybe that's a question to ask.
Well, that, and, you know, re-education process on the long-term damage to the landscape. We've had this conversation for 5 years now. At the end of the 25-year period, on these solar farms, we have scorched earth. There's no place to put them, to recycle them. The wind turbines, they're scratching their head, they're wearing out. Where are they gonna dispose of the blades, the shafts, and everything else? You've got sterilized ground, you've got contaminated groundwater with heavy metal. What?
Okay, I understand what you just said, but let's go back just for solar panels. Instead of them being right there at shoulder level, put them up in the air, 20 foot in the air. Make them nice and tall and wide, and let us raise, we put cattle underneath them, we can farm underneath them. And then when the technology gets better, you just change the panels on top. But you don't have scorched earth. And then you don't have to maintain the weeds and the dust and everything, because we're doing it because we can work underneath it.
Yeah. Well, you're talking common sense again. That doesn't have any place in our conversations anymore. No. What's the next
It's just
step?
an idea.
What's the next step?
Honestly,
What do we do for David? David?
Man, I need help. I think this is a good starting point, but we're probably 15 years, 12, 15 years behind the curve.
Of course.
And,
It's not too late.
no, I don't think so. I'd like to say I'm an eternal optimist, but I'm starting to waver a little bit.
Starting to choke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, I don't know, I need help from somebody with enough beans in their britches to actually get something done. Not just me though, this is happening all over the state.
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
happening everywhere. And the three guys that I mentioned, including myself, there's for those, there's probably 10 more, you know, that's going through the same issues.
Well, they got 400,000 acres over by, that may be over exaggerated to a certain extent. by Moby and Maricopa, you know, that they're getting ready to blade, level, and sanitize the earth. And that's BLM.
Yeah. It doesn't take them long.
Uh-uh.
Those big earth movers and being that far out, they don't have to, they'll say they're gonna, run their water poles and stuff, but they don't have to because nobody's gonna report them. So, there's too much dust.
Don, I think it's just a thought. The reason the wolf is not being taken care of and our predators are coming out and hurting us to take away our income, so we can't afford to fight this.
Yeah.
So I think they're one and the same.
Yeah.
Well, you know, once again, going back to the wolves, we got federal failure, we've got state of Arizona failure. I don't, you know, and I don't care what they say. You know, and I went to the director. I said, you know, there's a time we need to stand up and fight. You need to stand up and just go, no, we're not doing that. Did they do that? No, they didn't. We've lost species after species after species in 3A's we see. I mean, you just look at that, and then they didn't do anything with the damn horses, other than make them wildlife.
Right.
Okay, we gotta step down on the first hour, come back second hour, and continue down the Wolf Line. We'll be talking to Chris Rich on the carp rally, Arizona Game and Fish Department Commissioner J.J. Guggenauer, posing questions on drones and crossbows. I'm Donald McDowell. We'll be right back here on Fox Sports 910.
Don McDowell, outdoor.
Don.
No, I'm being serious. The horses are taking away the guy's ability to graze.
Yep.
We've taken away the federal grazing, so we can't afford to have the dollars in the cattle growers to fight some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So they keep whittling away at our income. I never really thought about
Well,
it this way.
you know, we just had a big discussion. I'm gonna leave it go at that. To send Tom Patterson $2,500 from the ACGA, and that was like, oh, you're killing us, you're killing us. You know, just do it.
Hey, my attorney's expensive, and,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't use them very often, but I called to ask him a couple of questions the other day about trying to do something with my dad's farm, seeing if maybe I could be a little proactive before he passed away or whatever. One conversation, and then he called me back and he printed off some stuff. And it was $1,100.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine when if someone's going to charge you $10,000 just to even write a couple letters and do some
Just to
research.
have the discussion about
so-
the discussion we're gonna have.
I can't afford that. I don't know. I'm not trying to get anybody's business, but we just can't afford to fight.
No.
The one guy I talked to, the attorney, was $575 an hour. Now he's actually beaten feds on a lot of stuff, but he was $575 an hour. I've got enough for a few hours, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I thought about getting a hold of U of A or ASU and getting some of their young
Law students.
bulldogs. Yeah, and
The Democrats.
that would be my fear. You know.
Okay, I think we're on the right track, but I had no idea the power of like TikTok and all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
Yep.
If there was somebody young that could be out there
Yeah,
making a video of all, I don't know.
I know.
I mean, Don posted a video
Yeah.
of my deer in a ditch, and what was there? 1,500 people or something watched the deer in the ditch.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's way up there.
That's a good idea. I'm going to talk to.
I don't mean to be.
ACGA about
I
it.
don't mean to be negative, but it gets old after a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
huge.
It just. Okay.
You know what's? I wrote down the C-130 drops and the geotech, and they still haven't reclaimed that stuff. So it'll never happen, and it'll never happen on me. You know.
But do they do it? Seriously, do they do it intentionally to like it's one more check mark. Let's annoy them. Let's take a little bit more. Let's take a little bit more, and then you just walk away.
Make them quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. Can't
I'll
imagine.
start a GoFundMe page for you,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
just hire the meanest attorney.
For ACGA, and sportsmen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was thinking about last night when I, in between like snoozes, and I thought, back when I hunted, there was not a place I hunted in state Arizona where I wasn't on a ranch,
Oh, yeah.
where there wasn't a windmill or a water, a dirt tank, and that's where all the wildlife is.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. If you just joined us, we have David Lampert, rancher, farmer, out by Arlington, west of Arlington. Then we have Tyson Stewart, longtime good friend, rancher, farmer, Dindora Valley. So, trying to finish up on the solar. What realistically do you think the next step is? Obviously, we see the NGOs and, everybody gets involved in a letter writing campaign until you turn blue in the face and nothing ever happens. How do we hold our congressmen? I'm going to pick on Andy Biggs for a bit because there's an awful lot of stuff going on in his district. Gosar has been out to Maine, let's say. We drove around down there for 4 hours. And how do we hold them accountable? Midterms are coming up.
Yeah, that's the only way I know how.
Can we put pressure on them? Start a social media storm? That look, these guys are not doing what they should be doing. You keep seeing these ads on Instagram about ICE and President Trump, and it was kind of a joke. Is this what I voted for? Damn right, that's what we voted for. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we with our congressmen, and I'm going to leave Grijalva out of it because that's not going to change ever until we get a Republican in there. These guys need to step to the pump and pay attention to what the hell is happening. I mean, GOP, as far as I'm concerned, they're asleep at the wheel. We've got crucial national elements that need to be dealt with that aren't being dealt with. We've got, guys on the DNC side using and abusing First Amendment, Hitler, Nazis, fascists, I don't know why they just don't take them to court and slam them with slander. It works.
Yeah.
Trump won $45 million with one of the major networks, and they quit it. I mean, it's real simple. So, it goes back to the same that same theory. If you want to keep guys out of your bad guys out of your backyard, you hang one up in the front yard.
Right.
They get the message.
Right.
So, how do we do that?
Well, in David's case, I think we have to help him with a GoFundMe or something like that. I mean, legal fees are expensive. Trump was able, he was successful. What did he spend to get there?
Oh, a whole bunch. Yeah, I have no idea.
Whole bunch. I mean, hate to say it, but the world is won by whoever can afford the better attorney.
Yeah, well, that's a true story.
And
In our world, besides us, who really cares? See, we got Game and Fish is catering to, in my opinion, they're still catering to 76% of the voters that don't pay to play, and a lot of the programs that we have are directed to them. All feel good, all the crap that's come out of Kurt Davis's commissioner run, 3 or 4 terms, whatever it was, and we have the owl cam, we still have the eagle cam, we've got the black-footed ferret, spotlighting opportunity. I thought that was a shooting opportunity. I was wrong, but anyway, all these things. We're not doing anything with the horses because, oh, we have to play nice with our federal partners, and, you know, those belong to the feds, and and it trashes the landscape. Anything that trashes the landscape, Arizona turns their back on. That's not under my watch. All the elk that got eaten by the wolves, all the deer that got eaten by the wolves, all the turkeys, this somebody else's watch. It's not us. Why? Where does it stop?
Lots of questions. No answers.
Well, I think you said it earlier, Don, because the majority of the voters are at home at 74 degrees,
They don't care.
Yeah.
going through Facebook and social media and playing video games and whatnot, and they're happy and content. And
The biggest hate mail, I'm going to give myself right now probably 65 hate mails because of the Salt River horses that have morphed because of Kelly Townsend and Ducey's old lady sleeping together or whatever they're doing. He wages as the magic wand, and feral livestock have become wildlife.
Right.
No, they're not wildlife.
Mhm.
They need to be taken off the landscape. Period. You know, everybody's, you know, looking at China's bad, China's bad. No. China imports over 6,600 metric tons of horse flesh to consume annually.
Right.
You talking about protein?
Yeah.
You know how much protein we can send to China? Woo!
Yeah.
101 ways to walk your horse. Yeah, come on. All right, Tyson, bail me out with some.
well, no, I'm just sitting there
Reason.
thinking. I always joke. I have every day all my cows are Democrats because they wait for me to feed them. They wait for me to take care of them, make sure that they're protected, they make sure they're medicated, and they're healthy. And the only time they get upset is when I'm late to feed them.
Mhm.
So, we do a pretty good job of taking care of the ones that need to be taken care of. But at this point, the rancher needs a little help.
Yeah. Well,
We don't need a lot of help. We just need some policies to leave us alone, let us do our job. Because at the end of the day, we're not the brightest because we pay to rent this
Yeah.
ground from the state. And then we maintain the roads, we maintain the fences, we maintain all the water troughs, and then we get to own the improvements, and hopefully someday whenever they do take the lease away from us, they pay us for our improvements,
Yeah.
we hope and pray.
Good
That's
luck.
it's a great deal for the state because they don't have to pay for anything. We take on that responsibility so that we have some feed for our Democrat cows. So,
we had a good guy that took an early retirement from USDA, Doug, that was really up on what was going on the landscape from a wildlife standpoint. Excuse me. He's gone. We don't have a suitable replacement for him. The help that we need, I think, is getting rid of the people that aren't doing their job and replacing them with people that get it.
Yep.
They get it to the point where if you don't do your job, you're fired.
Right.
Okay? We're not, you know, it's like Neil Bosworth. He was in Tonto National Forest forever. In my opinion, he did some real stupid stuff. And he was like Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton. He didn't really do anything. But Tonto National Forest can't run itself. Trujillo is in here now. I think he's going to do a good job. And I don't have an axe to grind with him right now because he's, you know, like you're saying, he's helping the, trying to help the ranching community. And I found it very ironic last Friday, Reed and I were headed to Globe for a drought mitigation workshop put on by U of A, Tonto National Forest, and on and on. We couldn't get there for the flood and the rain.
Yeah. That's kind of
Are
ironic.
you kidding me?
Mhm.
So, I don't know where it's going to end, but you know, the ball started on our end. We're having, you know, on the conservation side for water mitigation, and I think it's going to work. But at the same time, with the midterms coming up, we need to look real hard in the state of Arizona who's coming up for election. If they haven't done their job, we gotta find somebody else.
Yeah.
Either that or just vote them out of office and, you know, because politics are, it's an interesting game. Do we know what we're gonna get if we get somebody else? No, but we know the double that we have.
Yes.
So I'd rather trash the double that we have and let's go get a new double, knowing that we have to be more proactive and help guide them down the path. Say, hey, you just got seated, you just got elected. Here's who we are. This is the help that we need. How can we help you help us?
Okay, Don, you said here's the need. At the end of the day, the need is we need X amount of power generation, correct? We built in 1979, 1980s when we built Palo Verde, correct?
Yeah.
Let's build another one. Let's help them figure out a way to build another one because that's the most efficient way to make power. With
Well,
only
is that-
for
They've wasted 100 times the property that they need to duplicate
Yeah.
Palo Verde
Yeah.
and sending all the damn power to California.
And the water situation, when they say, well, we need water for, there's a solar plant that's called a solar plant right down the road up where I drive by every day.
Solana.
Solana. It's not a solar plant. They're pumping water to make steam.
Right.
They're pumping it out of the groundwater right there to make steam using solar power, solar energy to heat up the water. So that would have been a nuclear plant because that's an enormous amount of power. So we just need to give them a better idea to go after.
Yeah.
These solar plants are not, they're not the answer. Because if they were that great, private industry would have been building them a long time ago.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You'd have Chevron, Mobil, yeah, you know, all these guys right behind them. No. I don't know where it's gonna end, gentlemen. We got 2 minutes. Let me ask you one more time because you didn't answer the first two questions. What can we do to help you?
You know,
I know there may not be an answer, but, you know, I'm trying to get a direction, a path to go down. Who do we need to talk to?
you know, somebody out there probably has a lot. They're more connected than I am. which
Yeah,
I'm not
who
very
signed the
connected.
letter that they sent to you? Is that where we need to start?
Maybe. Let me look here.
Just send them a WTF email?
Let me look. I sent it to you.
And then the next question is, are those people elected or are they appointed?
Trinity Petlick. I can't read who that
Yeah,
is from.
yes. Can you scan that letter and send it to me?
Yeah,
It's hard to read on the email or a text message.
I can. Yeah, I can't see who it is. Can't read it.
Can Senator Kerr help us, Tyson?
I don't see why she wouldn't. I mean, she's doing a great job at FSA now. But I know that they look at the scheme of things and like, it's just out there. It's out in the desert. It's only so many little spots. It's in Maricopa
Yeah.
County. He just needs to go away. I'm sure that's how everyone looks at him. But I know they looked at all the ranchers out there
Yep.
and they're like, let's go after him. He's one family. No, I'm being serious.
Yeah, that.
I'm not
Okay,
picking on you.
No,
guys
no.
keep it up. We gotta shut this thing down and
Yep.
come back with Chris Rich. The next segment on the Carp Rally, sponsored by AZ Fly Shop. We'll be right back here on Fox Sports 910.
You know, what I found to be alarming was there was like 400 form letters signed and sent to the BLM over this stuff. They counted it as one.
One letter. You can't see that. We can't do that.
Yeah.
Do I have time to go to the voicemail?
Yeah, it has to be individual letter, individual. It can be the same letter,
Yeah.
but it needs to be individual signatures.
That's what it was. It was individual signatures on each one they sent in, and they still
Yeah,
counted
yeah,
it
but
as
it was
one.
one letter with one signature,
Nope, it was each one individual. Everybody signed it.
same letter.
The same form letter.
Yeah, I can't do that.
They counted it as one.
No.
So each person needs to write it out.
Yep,
So Don, you know, listening to, we're off the air, right?
yeah.
Listening to, I watched the whole Charlie Kirk Memorial from my house, and listening to what Turning Point USA did for Trump and got all of these people elected, basically.
Yep.
I wonder if they'd be interested in doing that here in Arizona, or have they done that? I don't know.
Through Turning Point?
Yeah. Because there's.
Well, we can ask the question.
Yeah.
I've already contacted Turning Point, waiting for them to call me back. I'm having some personal problems with the whole Charlie Kirk thing.
Yeah.
What happened is one thing. How it happened is something different. In my mind, how it happened is not what they're telling us what happened. You know, so there's some smoke and mirrors and some more BS going on here. And it's like, I'm an expert, have been an expert with a 30-06 for 50 years. I know exactly what that thing's gonna do,
Yeah.
okay? And it's gonna leave an exit wound.
Yeah.
It's gonna take your head off, bottom line. And the Kool-Aid that they're trying to feed us is, it's not going down very good. But, you know, that's a point, because there's not one organization that is willing to stand up and help us, not Mule Deer Foundation.
Yeah.
I am talking to them, however, not the Arizona Deer Association, not Arizona Elk Association. The antelope people don't give a damn.
Yep.
And the only reason they don't give a damn is because the wolves aren't eating on their
Yeah.
on their antelope, and they're not outlawed yet on solar farms.
Right. Right. I actually called Mule Deer Association,
Yeah.
ADA.
Don Pelfrey is the guy you need to talk to at MDF.
I talked to the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Them too.
I talked to. I've been around the horn.
There's not a single NGO that gives a shit.
Yeah.
Bottom line,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
It's like, here, we're gonna auction a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you know, we're gonna make, you know, $25,000 off this rifle, we'll put it over here.
Right.
Okay.
Is brought to you by Mala City Sportfish. You don't miss the boat or the fun. Go directly
If you got,
to sportfishing.com. Show us your rack. How big is that elk? Whitetail, moose, deer. In the world of big game hunting, there's nothing better than having your rack on the wall and shown around the outdoor world. Head to huntingfishing.com and show us your rack. Now back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910.
okay, we're switching gears, going to the carp rally with Chris Rich. What is happening, Chris?
And it introduced a new challenge to the carp rally this year.
Well, I gotta tell you, if it was bass fishermen, it would have been at the Waffle House.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Here's we have a little saying over here. The Cowboys have a similar saying too. In fact, I'll use the Cowboys version.
Yeah, we got cowboys in here now, be careful.
Everybody wants to be a cowboy until it's time to do cowboy stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can say the same thing. Everybody wants to be a fisherman until it's time to do the fisherman stuff. Hey, they all went out and compared the weather yesterday. We've got quite a few submissions where people catch fish and they submit their pictures. There's a way we do that. I'm not going to give any of the details because we kind of keep it a secret so nobody, knows what the other guys are doing. But we've got about 44 players out there. They're still out there this morning. They've got about another hour and a half. The carp rally ends at 10 a.m. this morning. started yesterday at 10 a.m., runs 24 hours. We have some of the teams are out there. They were out there through the night. We were getting submissions in the middle of the night. So it's exciting. They're excited. They want to get their name up on the wall and their picture on the wall in the shop. And they're going for the prizes. You know, we've got probably about probably $8,000-9,000 worth of prizes that are going to be going to the winners. So it's kind of a big deal. We got people that came in from several different states. I know there was one of the guys came from the Gulf Coast.
Any out of the country folks?
We had, say again?
Hello, Chris.
Say again, Don?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, anybody from out of the country?
I don't think we had anybody come in from out of the country. But I will say, you know, hearing from people a lot, you know, people talking about coming and doing the carp fishing in Arizona. We have something very unique here. We've got 180 miles of canals that go through town, and they're full of common carp and grass carp, which for a fly fisherman is a very challenging fish to catch on a fly rod. And we've got the opportunity to catch these fish over 50 pounds out of the canal. It's really quite amazing. And the country is, people around the country are taking note, and they're traveling here to come try to chase these fish. It's kind of a cool thing to watch happen.
What are the prizes? How does that stack up?
Yeah, so the prizes, I can't tell you exactly what it is. I'm going to say it's about $9,000 that'll be split up between the biggest fish and the most fish. So these are two-person teams. But what we do is our vendors, they like to support what we're up to. And what we're up to is trying to make an impact in the broader community. So, for example, this year's benefactor of this event is Wildlife for Tomorrow.
Okay,
We're going to donate to the cause. So we've got brand new, cutting-edge, state-of-the-art fly fishing equipment, whether it's fly rods, the latest in sunglass, waders, boots, on and on and on. There's a lot of different equipment, and a lot of our vendors step up to the plate, so we're very appreciative of them as well. Because they're the ones that really make this all possible for everybody to have a good time.
Okay, when are you gonna let the cat out of the bag as far as who won what?
I tell you what, that's going to happen this afternoon at the Fly Fishing Film Tour, Moon Valley Country Club. The doors open at 4 o'clock. Excited to announce that it's a sellout crowd. It's the first time we've had a complete sellout. We've been very, very close. But last night, probably around 9 o'clock, we hit sellout. So we're super excited about that. There'll be several hundred people there having a good time, socializing. And then in the middle of that, an intermission of the film showing, we're going to do the announcements for the carp rally and the raffle basket winners. So it's going to be a great fundraiser for Wildlife for Tomorrow. It's going to be a great opportunity for the fly fishing community comes together and connects with each other, and they might meet their next fishing partner. And it's and I'll tell you the other thing that what I really love about it. I was talking to one of the players last night, and there's several father-son teams that are in this carp rally, right? And the guy was saying, like how much he's been doing it every year, him and his son, and he won't miss it. We're doing this every year because it gives them an opportunity to go out, grind it out, have a good time together, and really, pursue the trophy. So it's a really cool event. It's the 5th year we've been doing it. It continues to grow. I'm glad we're doing it. I'm glad that we're about to build it again.
Okay, I'm getting a question. Is this all catch and release, or do you have a fish fry later?
You know what? It is all catch and release. And so we've got some of the rules about how the people need to take care of the fish and some ways that we kind of monitor that as well. But it is all catch and release. One of the things in the fly fishing community is most of the fly fishers that are out there are very conservation minded. And, we love to go play with these fish and chase them, and we want them to be there for future generations to be able to do that as well.
Outstanding.
All catch and release.
After this is over with, what's next on the docket for AZ Fly Shop?
Well, our classes are going to continue on. Twice a month we have the Intro to Fly Fishing, our primer class, the class that the fish don't want you to know about. We've got our entomology course. We've got fly tying courses. That's all going to continue to go on. But I tell you what, October 8th, I get on a jet plane and I make a tour around South America, and I'm going to northern Argentina for golden dorado. It's a fantastic fishery. I go from there to Rio Marie for the giant peacocks, and then I head to Texas. So it's a month-long trip. Several different groups that we're going to meet up with, and I think we're going to be able to stay in touch on the radio on most of these. So
Outstanding.
we'll see how we go. But it'll be a fun little tour that I'll be on, and then I'll be back about November 4th. And at that point in time, I can tell you, I'll be getting ready to be a grandpa.
Right. Well, just a sidebar. Sounds to me like as much time as you're spending down south, you've developed a fetish for pygmies. Is that true?
Oh, hey, I'm just pulling up. I've actually got a couple of my partners that come up from Argentina, set fly fishing. It's who we do our trips with down there, and I'm taking them out to show them around. I'm just coming up to the canal, and we got some players. We got some players on the sideline. I'm going to get out and check out and see how they're doing out here. So.
All right. Well,
It's been
God love you.
going real well.
I'll leave you this. Matt sure tells me that the lady dwarf dancers are coming back out to Tonga Basin.
All right, Dom.
All right, you have a great day, man. I appreciate what you're doing, putting back in the community. Chris Bridges, Fly Shop, check him out. East Cactus Road, just west of I-51. That's Area 51, I guess, on the north side of Cactus. Tyson, let me ask you this. Both of you guys,
That's so much more fun when you're not doing that to me.
Oh, you're next. So that canal that runs down Enterprise Road, is there enough fish in there to have a fly fishing derby?
I know there's some fish, probably not. Right there at Gillespie Dam, maybe. Maybe in the Arlington Canal.
I've actually put I got a single man pontoon boat with an electric trolling motor on it and put in right there at the dam and gone straight up into the river and just drifted down and caught bass after bass.
Oh, big bass too.
Big bass.
Yeah.
I don't think in the Enterprise Canal.
I don't think so.
No. I was just curious. I don't know, skip place to jump, shoot ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna flip into a break. When we come back, Commissioner Guggenauer, I'm gonna ask him about drones and the new regulations on crossbows. I'm Donald McDowell with
David Lanford.
Tyson Stewart.
We'll be right back on Fox Sports 910.
I was thinking, when you asked about the pygmies, I was thinking, man, you could put a lot more of them in a car.
Do what?
You could haul a lot more of them. They'd fit more in a car than regular stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing stories that they were out at the co-op and just created all kinds of havoc.
I got Father of the Year award because I took my son to the pygmy wrestling.
Really?
That was a mistake. He was about 8 years old. I thought it'd be something cool. They did it outdoors. It wasn't in the bar. That was a mistake. I was so embarrassed. I felt so bad.
Well, in North Dakota, in Dickinson, North Dakota, the high school there, the mascot's they've been the midgets for the last 125 years, and they won the state championship basketball tournament, and they had a team of 6 or 7, and so they got nicknamed because they showed up and they all could play, but if they were from the little town, there was 5 or 6 of them, and so that's how they got their team name, is they were given it to them by a radio guy. Go figure. And so that's been their mascot, and
midgets.
they literally just had to change their names this past year. But for 100 and something years, they've been the midgets, and that's Dickinson, North Dakota.
little people.
Yeah. They haven't changed Oregon State's mascot yet, have they?
The Ducks?
No.
Yeah, what's, have you
Little
heard
Beavers.
anything more about the, Minnesota Vikings having that gay guy on there, on the cheerleaders?
I
You
don't
haven't
know.
seen that?
No.
I have not. I have to look that up. Bless you.
Bless you, bless you.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Ugh. Oh, man.
How long does this go?
About 30 more minutes.
We'll be out at, 8:57 probably.
I didn't realize it was that long. I thought, shoot, I'd only have like maybe 8 minutes or something.
No, we're good.
This was okay.
No, you guys, you're doing a great job.
I'm sure glad you're.
Oh, I'm just over here just rattling. I don't see anything.
No, you're.
Yeah, when we come back at the, that last segment, we wanna talk about, Bible bullets and bourbon again for, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called him, talked to him, he said he couldn't come in because he was shorthanded, and having to do this, that, and the other thing.
I talked to Casey Murph yesterday evening. He said that he would be willing to, and if you want to look him up on X, you can. It's Casey Murph, C-A-S-E-Y, Murph, M-U-R-P-H, 1 on X. He said he'd be willing to come and be a guest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's from the east side of Arizona, but he'll drive here and
Boom, okay. You got Mr. Guggenauer? Thank you, sir.
This segment is brought to you by the AZ Fly Shop, where your adventure begins.
You're doing such a good job, I think you should be my regular.
3254 East Cactus Road. Back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910 and always on our free iHeartRadio app. Here's the Bass Daddy and Tournament Pro, Don McDowell.
All right, we're back, going to downtown Payson, where my guess is there, probably not water running down the sidewalk. James, what's happening up there? How much water did you get?
Hey, good morning, Don, and we do. We have water flowing everywhere here. And just to put this in perspective, Payson averages about 13.5 inches of rain annually. And for the month of September, Payson has received 5.5 inches of rain just so far this month.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, the Tonto Creek is flowing into Roosevelt. In fact, it's flowing at about 126 cubic feet per second, which is big time. Finally, that bridge that they put over Tonto Creek down there at Tonto Basin,
Yes, sir.
people are finally, you're using the bridge today rather than trying to cross the Tonto Creek.
Okay, now, are you gonna have the WM go down there and post no fishing signs on the bridge finally?
You know, I hadn't thought. But the water is a huge deal up here. It's like everything else. September is usually not a big monsoon month across the state of Arizona. But I think just like the yellowfin tuna, just like the Chinook salmon, everything's running late this year, including the monsoon. So I'm actually not surprised that we're getting all this rain in September.
Yeah, boy, we just got hammered, as you know, I've done quite a bit over in Gila County. And, you know, the deaths at the Globe, the amount of water that they had, which is absolutely tragic. But, you know, it's well needed, and, you know, moving things forward, the water subsided, and the cows are coming home and got washed down the creek, so, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep, range cattle actually enjoying it. Lots of good wet moisture out there for them as well.
Well, I want to talk about the yellowfin a little bit. The yellowfin are up in Mass. The Legend had 27 guys. They had a stellar trip. I don't know if they're back. They had 81 yellowfin, 72 bluefin, and 19 yellowtail, and on and on and on. We'll get into that more later on. But I've had several inquiries on the use of drones. From your standpoint, from the department standpoint, tell us the long and short of it. Yes, you can use drones for recovery, or no.
No, you cannot use drones. Drones, per statute, are outlawed, and the reason for that is that if you can just imagine how fast you could cover an area, if you're looking at a mountainside and you fly a drone over that, you can search it for wildlife very quickly rather than do the actual hunts.
Well, I knew the answer to it, but I promised Chris I'd ask a question. So you can't find the locate, you can't use them after the fact to recover.
Right, and I get that. It's like everything else, Don, and I know that you know this. The commission has to consider is the noise of drones. You have people that are in active hunts, and there's. I get that the intention is good, especially if you're trying to recover wildlife that might be wounded, but at the same time, you're impacting a lot of other things when you try to do that.
Yeah, 10-4. Okay. Also, I was inundated with the regulation change on crossbows. Can you identify the hot points?
Yes, sir. Appreciate that opportunity as well. The commission had a very lively debate. In fact, it took us three public comment periods because the commission changed its mind about how it wanted to implement crossbows, and all of those changes required us to go back to the public to get input. And the crux of the problem, Don, was using crossbows during the early archery seasons. A lot of the archery people felt that crossbows are not archery equipment, and therefore they wanted it moved to a general hunt and not be able to use it during the archery season. However, the commission listened to lots of people that are avid archery hunters who had disabilities that entitled them to use a crossbow during the archery hunts. So at the end of the day, the commission decided to keep crossbows legal during the early archery hunts, but at the same time, we tightened up the requirements that you have to go through to get that crossbow permit. In the past, we used to be able to issue a lifetime pass, and people could go to a doctor, a chiropractor, a PA, lots of different...
And James, that's under the CHAMP program?
Not part of the CHAMP. It's different than CHAMP. These are CHAMP people are disabled and they have their own thing. Now they do have to go get the permit annually, like the crossbow hunters. But everything that's in the CHAMP program about shooting from your vehicle, shooting from the road, assisting recovery of the harvest, all of those things for CHAMP holders are still in place.
Okay.
So we tightened up the requirements to get the permit, so we kept the access is just as it was before.
One major complaint, times about 8, they're thinking the ability to use a scope on your crossbow has been eliminated. Is that true?
So you can have a scope on a crossbow. It just can't be a magnifying scope.
Then what's...
So
okay. Hang on. You have a scope, it's got 0 magnification. What's the point?
As an example, Don, the red dot scope that you can sight in, and you can put the dot on the target and use a regular scope rather than iron sights to do that. that is still there.
Okay, but you can use a crosshair with no magnification.
Correct.
Okay.
So overall, Don, we got really good feedback after the commission made this decision. And although the vote was unanimous, there were lots of discussions over about a year period of collecting public input and meeting with people and talking about this. So I feel pretty good about it. I think the commission made a very good decision here, and I admire the work by the department to bring different options to the commission until we could get to a point we would agree with everything.
Okay, any news on Roosevelt in view of the weather? I would think probably not.
So I will say this at the top. It's not the rain that keeps fishermen off the lakes. It's the lightning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And as everybody in the valley has seen the lightning shows going on at night down there. And so the anglers, I mean, even the most dedicated anglers in Tonto Basin are saying that we are not fishing this week with that lightning going on out there. But top water baits, Don, is, we talked about this a little bit last week. The top water baits, if you're going to Roosevelt Lake early in the morning, now is what I would be throwing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we call this the turning point.
Yeah.
I just throw that. Okay, real quick, we got Kansas City Speedway coming up. Any thoughts?
I do. I look at this lineup today. We have out of the top 5 cars, 3 of them are from Joe Gibbs Racing, and 2 of them are Hendricks Motorsports. So Kyle Larson sitting at number 3, Chase Elliott at number 4. It's going to be a rodeo. This is going to be a really hot race today.
Well, you got that little stinker named Christopher Bell down there. I mean, you know, in the last 25 laps, here comes Christopher. I don't know where the hell he comes from, but he always gets there.
Yep.
And of course, we have Denny Hamlin and Bubba's at number 7. I will make a recommendation that he'll finish 23rd.
And I see your favorite, Mr. Wallace, down there starting 7th, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Bubba.
Oh, that one's starting 23rd. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. And Denny, you know, I always wish Denny a flat tire. So it's all good.
I look forward to your text this afternoon, Don.
Okay, yeah, no problem. We've been working diligently the last month on Mexican gray wolves. Has the department changed their attitude relative to Mexican gray wolves management? Because I'll tell you what, everybody is I've never seen the community as up in arms as they are right now. The ranchers, so on and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm. And as you know, Don, the Mexican gray wolf program is a U.S. Fish and Wildlife-led activity, and I think that's why there is a lot of the discussion going on, because at the federal level, people are making inroads to the Fish and Wildlife and the Wildlife Service agencies, Department of Interior, Department of Agriculture, to try to have them take another look at that program. So I don't know where that's going to go, but for the department, we continue to support the U.S. Fish and Wildlife because we're about wildlife management. And, I mean, there's always going to be controversy about those things, but our goal is wildlife management, and we have to be part of that program. Otherwise, it would be far worse than the conditions that we're talking about today.
I understand that, and I appreciate your great comments, but you know, I think it's time for our wildlife people to stand up and do some uncomfortable things and actually start managing instead of playing patty cake with the Fish and Wildlife Service. Because honestly, they're running out of money, and we've got to come up with a plan.
Yeah, and we talked about this before, Don. I think we talked offline. But if they ended the program today, there are still 300 wolves out there that have to be managed some way.
That's okay.
So-
I'll volunteer truck and trailers to send them to Mexico.
There's lots of discussions about options that are there, but it's a bigger problem, and the department will continue to look at this from a wildlife management and conservation perspective. That's the charter of the department, and that's where the commission leads them.
Okay, great answer. We've got Congressman Gosar, Tom Patterson scheduled. I would extend an invitation to you to be in studio to be part of that.
Congressman Gosar's bill that's out there, I'll be there. Whenever that discussion is done, let me know.
Okay. God love you. Hey, good luck on the race today. We'll talk to you next week. James Guggenauer doing a great job for the constituency in Arizona as a commissioner for AZGFD. We've got to flip into a hard break here to get this thing wrapped up and get on with the day.
No matter what boat or watercraft you drive, your safety starts with the proper personal flotation devices for you and the people aboard your vessel. Hey, I'm Don McDowell, professional angler and saltwater fisherman and United States Coast Guard Auxiliaries Flotilla 1011 Guardians of the Southwest. Mustang Survival PFDs are our only choice when enjoying our own watercraft or saving lives. Our lives depend on Mustang survival gear, and so does yours. Boat safe, boat smart, boat with Mustang. Your life may depend on it. Available locally at Sportsman's Warehouse, I-17 and Yorkshire Drive.
Wolves.
Yep.
What's to Misunderstand by Thomas K. Remington. That lays it all out.
Yep.
The problem is, David, I don't mean to interrupt.
No.
We got science over here from the left.
Yep.
We got science over here from the right.
Yep.
And someplace in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's where Tom goes back and lays it out from the big wolves way back when in the Ice Age and all that.
It's time to join the Howl Pack. In 2025, Howl for Wildlife campaigns will inspire advocacy, influence decision makers, and build resistance to the constant attacks from the anti-hunting industry. Howl is committed to protecting hunting, angling, and trapping opportunities nationwide, and we invite you to join the Howl Pack. Howl for Wildlife is committed to winning. Visit howlforwildlife.org to learn more and join the pack.
Here is a great way to help Arizona's wildlife conservation efforts. Put an AZ Wildlife Conservation license plate on your car, truck, or RV and show the world you care. When you do, you are contributing to the AZ Wildlife Conservation Fund, which manages grants for habitat improvements and hunter-angler recruitment. Simply go online to servicearizona.com and select the AZ Wildlife Conservation plate for your license plate renewal. Show the world you care.
Wow.
Well, I got a call last night coming out of church from Kip Pillay. He says, you got to do something. I said, do something with what? He said, well, I'm up here with Jerry's store. Jerry used to be he opened up the Sportsman's Warehouse at I-17 in Yorkshire. We did a lot of stuff, but he's a guide up there. And in Idaho, where they had a pristine, very healthy breeding elk population, it's devastated. It's devastated.
That's from what wolf?
Wolves.
Gray wolves.
So they're all related. Yeah, and the other thing nobody's talking about, these gray wolves are interbreeding with the dogs.
Yep.
In like Heber. The ranch dogs are getting hybrids.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beep when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze, before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
The next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
10 years.
10 years also?
Yeah. Federal jail, lockup. It's no joke.
But you can run over a pedestrian and get community service?
Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide.
Right.
You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
This segment is brought to you by TheWilderness.com, makers of quality outdoor and tactical gear. TheWilderness.com.
If you love the outdoors, make sure you sign up for the weekly hunting fishing newsletter to stay up to date with the latest outdoorsman news across the nation. Sign up today at huntingfishing.com. Now back to Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910.
All righty, we're back. We didn't cover a lot of fishing. We've had a lot of moisture that we've needed desperately, I might add. Healy County got pounded pretty good. Central Maricopa County, down where you guys?
0.
Dust.
0.65 inches in Arlington.
Well,
I sent you the video, too.
I know. Okay. Yeah. We'll take a look. I want to thank you guys for coming down, both of you. You know, you're great guests, good friends, hardworking rancher farmers. Tyson, where are we headed with this ranching, farming business in Central area? We've had the water taken away from the Saudis for growing hay. What's next?
Well, I could be negative, but today we can reflect, and if at 4 o'clock today, and this is shameless here, we can spend a little bit of time together in fellowship and do a little bit of bullets, Bibles, and bourbon, and that's what we really need to do if you really want to talk about direction.
Concept.
I'm being serious.
So am I.
It's open to the public. You're welcome to come out to Patterson Road. It's range 2131, and it's a group between 25 and 50 that show up, and there's pistol training, it's a couple hours, about an hour and a half Bible study. There's some dinner, and then a little bit of bourbon at the end. But it's no offense, but it's men only, and it's nice to have a little bit of fellowship together.
There you go.
But to answer your question about what to do with the ranching and the farming and what's going on in Maricopa County, I mean, Arizona was founded by the 5 C's, but they're trying to make 6 C's, and all they care about is computer chips. And you can't eat a chip.
No.
So, but you can't get rid of them. We just have to figure out a way to work together.
Yep.
But it'd be nice to be asked to the table.
It would be. I guess we could send out invitations to get some folks to the table. If you'd be kind enough to scan and send your letter from the State Land Department, I'll do some follow-up on my behalf, not your behalf. I'm Big Boy, I'll sign my name. Ask the hard questions. You know, I think the hard question is, which one of you guys got your hand out?
Yeah.
I smell corruption. Dereliction of duty. BLM's got some complicity in this. I'll shoot BLM a letter. I want to know where the C-130 situation stands. Why is it at a standstill? Because I guarantee you, with doing what I do, if I went out there and I took my truck and I drove where they did, I'd be down talking to the judge. And it won't be 2 years. It'll be probably 10 days.
Right.
So, once again, something stinks.
Well, thanks for having me, Don. I appreciate everything you do. Yeah, I know you do a lot.
Well, we're trying to. You know, we've come up with a new plan that's been implemented 2 weeks ago for non-endemic funding for our drought mitigation. We'll have weekly meetings to see how that's developing. The the people in place. The vision has been reduced to paper. We have 8 projects now being reviewed, converted to funding requests. And we're just, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, trying to make a difference. So, what can we do for you?
Just keep being our voice. We appreciate your passion.
I want to drive the bulldozer.
You can always drive the bulldozer.
You're welcome. I sit on top of the lap.
Next thing you know, he'll be looking for one.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing Phineas sausages.
Absolutely, right.
Yeah.
No, you're more than welcome. Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay, it's all good. We got to get out of here and get this wrapped up. We're going to follow up the Mexican gray wolf issue with Tom Patterson from New Mexico. I would encourage you, if you care, even if you don't care, educate yourself and get your head out of the closet. Look at wolvesamongus.org. You'll see what we're talking about. And we'll be back next week. And take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat. Follow us on our social media. And we'll see you next time.